she call me, I don't tell her come around. I've been in the trap, I'm trying to make a couple thousand.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the second channel. Hope you're all doing well today. Now, I'm someone that tends to watch WWE from time to time, and I know as of recently, the program has not been the best. Been losing interest in recently, and I've realized that WrestleMania 38 is around the corner. So it's in the next couple of months that WrestleMania 38 is going to take place in Dallas, Texas. So there's already like 2 matches confirmed for this, and I know the rest of the match card will be announced in the next few weeks to come. But I was thinking to myself, if I was going to book WrestleMania 38, how would I book the matches? So this is the video where I'm going to explain my booking of WrestleMania 38, and I will explain why I've gone with these bookings. Now, I know my ideas is not going to be the same as everyone else's. Not everyone's going to like my ideas. But if you're someone that's looking forward to WrestleMania 38, let me know how you would book your WrestleMania in the comment section below. Now, without further ado, let's get into this. For night 1 of WrestleMania, the opening match is going to be the Usos versus Los Lotharios for the Smackdown Tag Team Championships. The Usos have been dominant in the tag team division. We all know that, wrestling fans. We all know that the 2 Usos have been dominant, and pretty much just no one is able left to challenge them for the tag titles. Now, there is one team that has not been given much of a chance yet, but I feel like it'd be interesting to give them a chance to see what they'll do. And that's Los Lotharios, which consists of Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Now, these guys have like a good heel-ish persona within them. So one of them is willing to cheat to win, and you know, I feel like they could do something. They can do something. It'll be interesting to see what happens between the 2 of them. Like, I know the Usos are heels, but at the same time, they know how to be comedic to entertain the crowd. And Los Lotharios bring that kind of element into it, where they're gonna try to do something, try and get the upper hand. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. So if I did book this match, I would see the Usos retaining the tag titles. If this match did go happen, I'll give them to retain it because they're the better tag team, and hopefully it'll be new things to come for Los Lotharios. Now the next match I would have, as I kind of lighted over here, it will be Damien Priest versus Austin Theory versus Rey Mysterio versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match for the United States Championship. Now, obviously, in the WrestleMania, you know, it's a long pay-per-view, and hence why there's like 2 nights of it. So you need that match where it's going to lift the crowd up before you get it to the one is going to be the best part of the show. So I feel like this match will do it. Now, Damien Priest is the current United States Championship as of recording, and he's had a good reign so far. And in terms of opponents, I picked Austin Theory because he's in the middle of a program with Vince McMahon, and it seems like Vince McMahon is really liking Austin Theory and really wants to push him, wants him to do well. And there were other people like Kevin Owens, who should be in the World Championship picture, but for some reason is quite not there, with Seth Rollins instead. But you still want someone like him to be in a show like WrestleMania. So put him in a championship match, like for the United States Championship. It'll be good. Rey Mysterio as well, just because he knows how to put on a good match. Like, he never disappoints, Rey Mysterio. He never disappoints. So put them 4 in a ladder match for the United States Championship. Oh, that'll be a good one. That'll be a good match indeed. And with this match as well, I will go with this in 2 ways. Either have Damien Priest retain the championship, or have a wild card option and make Austin Theory win the United States Championship. So that if he wins it, he can go back to Vince McMahon and say like, oh look, he won the championship and possibly it could be the start for him to reach for better things. The next match I would have on the night 1 card is Naomi versus Sonya Deville. So if you don't know what the story is, basically Sonya Deville is one of the WWE officials, and she keeps screwing over Naomi over her match, over situations or whatnot, and is giving her a hard time basically. So that's what's going on. And basically Sonya is like, if she has a uniform, no one can put hands on her and all that. She basically is like, don't mess with your boss or you get fired, that kind of situation there. So I'm thinking, put these two in a match at WrestleMania, but have it as a no disqualification match where anything goes, and here's an extra stipulation to it to make it interesting, and this will be the payoff to the rivalry. Whoever loses should leave SmackDown. I feel like that will be the biggest payoff in this rivalry, so that the rivalry will be over, and I would give Naomi the win in this match because, listen, Sonya Deville isn't doing much. She can go to Raw and continue doing what she's already doing over there, and for Naomi, like, she should be going even further and possibly going towards the SmackDown Women's Championship. Well, she should be in the SmackDown Championship title picture. Now, and also as a recording, she has a match against Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I don't think she's gonna win. They're gonna keep the belt on Charlotte Flair because, you know, daughter of Ric Flair and whatnot, and yeah, you get what I mean. Now this one is interesting. I don't know if this one's gonna happen, but this one is similar to like the Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle match back at WrestleMania 21 in 2005, where one person from Raw fought against someone from SmackDown. And this is Edge versus Drew McIntyre. Now, I don't think Drew McIntyre will be in the Universal Championship picture because Roman Reigns is already in the feud with Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins wants to come back because he got screwed over by Roman Reigns from that match at the Royal Rumble. So, and basically Edge wouldn't have a big match at WrestleMania, so I feel like it would be a good idea to put these two together, a person from Raw against a person from SmackDown, which will be a big match. That will actually be a big match to have. And who would I have to win this match if I did book it? I would have Drew McIntyre get the win over Edge, so that it would boost his morale, boost up his momentum, and then possibly get him back into the Universal Championship picture. Now the next one is interesting. I will book a women's tag team championship match. Now this is going to be between Zelina Vega and Carmella up against Lita and Trish Stratus, two WWE Hall of Famers. Now, the reason why I'll book this match is because basically the Women's Tag Team Championship, whoever's holding it is not doing anything. Let's be real. They're not doing anything. And I feel like since you have this title already here, why not make something out of it? So I feel like, here's one thing you can do to make not only this thing mean something, but at the same time help out the current championship holders into a big match at WrestleMania. And what's better than having them against two Hall of Famers in Lita and Trish Stratus. Now everyone knows the amount of rivalry that Trish and Lita had in the past, and basically they're like friends right now, so it'll be very good to see them tag teaming against the women tag team champions. And I would book the Hall of Famers to win the championships and maybe have a little bit of a run with it at the title, and then possibly drop it in a few weeks or possibly a month afterwards. So that would be it. Next match I will book is Bobby Lashley versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. Now here's one thing I'm going to mention. As of recording, there's going to be a WWE Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship where Bobby Lashley will be defending his title against Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Matt Riddle. So basically, everyone in this picture, I feel like straight from the get-go, Bobby Lashley is retaining the championship. Austin Theory is going to be in for the United States Championship. Matt Riddle will be in a match that I will mention later on. Seth Rollins will be in a match that I'm going to mention later on. And Brock Lesnar, knowing that he won the Royal Rumble, he's going to face Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. So he's gone. So the only person left should be AJ Styles. And I say AJ Styles because it's been quite a while since he had a World Championship feud. And it's been a while since he held the World Championship. Now, have these two in the match will be quality. That will be a quality match. And however, I would still have Bobby Lashley retain the championship at WrestleMania, because I mean right now he's probably he's the better person at the moment in terms of the momentum and relevance when it comes to the World Championship. So I'm going to have him retain it. However, I wouldn't be mad if they did have a rivalry after WrestleMania for the WWE Championship, as long as it's being booked properly. So yeah, that's another match I'll book. And one match that's already confirmed for night one of WrestleMania, and that's Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair for the Smackdown Women's Championship. Now, when I think of this match, I believe this match is going to correlate to the time back in 2018 when Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair had a match against each other, where it was supposed to be Ronda Rousey against Becky Lynch, but because she got injured, she got replaced by Charlotte Flair, and that match ended in a disqualification. And yeah, Charlotte Flair just gave her a beatdown, which caused in the whole commotion of Ronda Rousey not liking everything. So I feel like there's a story, there's a bit of element to this rivalry. So I get where that's coming from. And me, like, right off the bat, without even thinking twice about it, I would have Ronda Rousey beat Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So that will be interesting to see how her championship reign would go down if she did win the SmackDown Women's Championship. So yeah, I feel like that's a good match card for night one of WrestleMania 38. Now, heading on to night two of WrestleMania 38. For the opening match, I would have Sami Zayn against Cesaro, against Sheamus, against Shinsuke Nakamura in a fatal four-way match for the Intercontinental Championship. But here's the thing. At this moment in time, Shinsuke Nakamura is the Continental Champion. And it looks like he will have a match against Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I don't know when that match is going to happen. It's probably in this week that I'm recording this video. And for some reason, I feel like Sami Zayn is going to beat Shinsuke Nakamura and become the new Intercontinental Champion. And I have a feeling he's going to walk into WrestleMania with the championship and add Sheamus into it, because he has never won the Intercontinental Championship. And if he wins that, that'll make him a Grand Slam champion. Add Cesaro into the match as well, because he's currently in the feud with Sheamus. And also have Shinsuke Nakamura in the Fatal 4-Way, try and get his championship back from Sami Zayn. So a Fatal 4-Way between these four sounds like a good match to me. And who would I have win? Honestly, I would either have Sami Zayn retaining. I would either also have Cesaro become the new Intercontinental Champion, so he can go on a singles run, which he would have for the first time since his United States Championship run in about 10 years. My God, he has actually been in the top division for that long. And I would either also have Sheamus win the belt and become the Grand Slam champion. Because like I said earlier, that's the only belt that he hasn't won yet. Moving into the next match, and I would have Rhea Ripley against Beth Phoenix. The Glamazon against the Woman of Brutality. Now, I feel like this is going to be an interesting match because Beth Phoenix has returned to in-ring competition after a long while. She just had her match against Marisa and The Miz alongside Edge at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, and they got on to win that match. So I think the best thing to do would to have her in a match at WrestleMania, and I feel like Rhea Ripley would be the best opponent for her because they have like this similar kind of character, similar personality in terms of their gimmicks. I can see Rhea Ripley gain a win over Beth Phoenix because putting down a legend will boost your stock up and give her more momentum. And honestly, Rhea Ripley should be someone now, like right now would be the best time for her to get into the Raw Women's Championship picture because I feel like when she came in, had her debut, she was pushed to that too early. But now after a few months, after a year, I feel like now will be the best time to put her back into the championship picture. But for now, I will book that match between her against Beth Phoenix and have Rhea Ripley get the W. Now, next off, I would have Alpha Academy against the Street Profits against RK Bro for the Raw Tag Team Championships in a triple threat match. Now, yes, I would have Alpha Academy come into WrestleMania still with the Raw Tag Team Championships, go into a match against the Street Profits and RK Bro, which is Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. But here's the interesting thing that I would book to happen. In this match, this is where RK Bro will split up, where Randy Orton will turn on Matt Riddle, causing them the match to have Alpha Academy to retain their Raw Tag Team Championships and move on to another feud between them and the Street Profits. And yeah, I would have Alpha Academy just retain the championships. I would book a triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship between Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and Liv Morgan. I heard there's currently plans to have a match between Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship, which is very good, but I feel like Liv Morgan should still be in that picture because from the end of 2021 to a little bit into this year, she was getting a push and everyone's getting behind it. The fans really appreciate Liv Morgan. I would love to see her win the Raw Women's Championship. Now, I feel like put them in a triple threat match and everyone is getting a chance. And I would book Becky Lynch to drop the belt. I will book her to drop the belt and have Liv Morgan finally get her moment and win the Raw Women's Championship. Now, Bianca Belair, she had her moment last year. She won the Royal Rumble and she won the Smackdown Women's Championship against Sasha Banks. So she had her moment. So possibly, maybe her new rival would be against Liv Morgan for that championship moving on forward. Next match will be an interesting one. I feel like this one would be good. I would have Biggie fight Goldberg. Now, the only reason I would book this match is because in the past, Biggie's always talked about his dream match. Like he always wants to have a match against Goldberg. Like Goldberg was one of his favorite wrestlers growing up, and he would love to have a match against Goldberg. Two big men going off against each other, and yeah, it'll be appropriate to have Big E get the W over Goldberg so that Biggie will be going over and pushing him further and further, and hopefully in the future he gets another world championship opportunity down the line. Next match I would book is Sasha Banks against Aliyah. Now, I know I could have had other people there, but I want to book this match for two reasons. One is to have Aliyah to be pushed more, and secondly, to start a new feud for Sasha Banks. Now, how would I have this match go down? I would have those two have a match as usually going. Sasha Banks is getting the upper hand in the match because she is obviously the better wrestler between the two. But the interesting thing I would have is before Sasha Banks gets the win, before she gets Aliyah into the bank statement, is to have Bayley make her huge return at WrestleMania, causing Sasha to lose the match to Aliyah to give her the big win at WrestleMania, and the two former best friends can go and have a rivalry. And we all know that does not get old. It's always entertaining, and just to see how it will go down on Smackdown. And now, the main event of WrestleMania 38 will be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, but with a twist, adding Seth Rollins to the match for the Universal Championship in a triple threat match. Now, it's obvious why it's better to have the three guys in this match instead of Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, because we've seen that match before. We got tired of it. Now, if you want to do those two again, add another person into the mix, and instantly the match becomes more interesting. Now, we all knew Roman Reigns screwed over Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view for the Universal Championship because of DQ, and Brock Lesnar picked Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. So, that's going to be the main event. And this will be a good one. Who would I want to win? Now, here's the thing. I don't know who I'd want to win that situation. Like, I know at this point I'm tired of Roman Reigns having the Universal Championship. Well, that's pretty much because he's a heel. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to see Brock Lesnar with the championship because he's just a part-time wrestler. And not only that, Seth Rollins is a wrestler from the Raw brand. So, honestly, for me, I feel like Seth Rollins should get his revenge on Roman Reigns and be the one to beat him and Brock Lesnar to become the new Universal Champion. Now, whether Seth goes back to Raw with the championship and changes it, or he moves to SmackDown and becomes the champion there, that's probably there to find out what will happen. But honestly, that's how I would book that match, and that's how I'll book Night 2 of WrestleMania. So, what do you guys think? How would you book your WrestleMania? I would like to know. Let me know in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like on it. Subscribe if you're new around here. We're trying to get 200 subscribers. And as always, take care and peace.